Welcome to another beautiful edition of the Black Tower podcast. We are grateful to be here with you. We thank you for being here with us. I am, as you are probably familiar with me by now, but I am your Soravan Mihail, Josh.
And I am, as you are probably sadly aware of, your Bajan Mihail, Andrew.
And I am your Amin Khan Mihail, which you probably don't know me. I'm actually not on very many of these episodes, but now you do. I'm Daniel.
He's our intern.
Oh God, are we doing a Dusty Wheel today? Am I hosting the episode?
Well, one of us is.
But
Foreshadowing that makes no sense when people listen to this.
I'm sorry, is this flex?
Hey, Josh,
Yes?
you actually need muscles to be able to flex.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I love you, Josh.
Working out every day. Thank you for joining us so much. We love you, and we're happy to be here for another exciting episode of The Black Tower. As far as announcements go, we don't have too much going on. We don't have just being here for you guys. We love you guys.
Indeed. But we would like to tell you about some exciting stuff in terms of where you can find us. Those of you who have been on here before, seen an episode or two or three or all of them, then you know that you can find us on blacktowerpod.com. That's actually going to give you .com, which is actually going to give you basically all of our stuff, links to just about everything in terms of Twitter, in terms of merch, in terms of our Instagram, all of that different stuff. Go there if you want to find out more information about us. If this is your first time listening to an episode, definitely come over and stop by. There are forums. There's a bunch of different stuff that you can find there that's super fun and super engaging and will help us get to know you and you to get to know us. And while you are there, don't forget to pop on over to our Spreadshirt account, which is linked there. You can go ahead and get to know us by the designs that we have, which are super fun and super enjoyable. Also,
And more coming.
Also, if you're just looking for hashtag Dragonsworn stuff, we also have that in the merch store as well. If you don't necessarily know that you want to rep us yet, but you do want to rep Wheel of Time, pop over there, grab some of that. And last, don't forget to pop over to our Patreon. If you've been a listener of the show for a while and you would like to join us every Wednesday for live episodes, as well as get the episodes early, you can actually listen live for no more, or for our lowest tier, if you will, which is just $1 a month. That'll get you access to the Wednesday night live episodes, as well as a bunch of other super fun stuff.
For just $1 a month, you could make us feel like we matter.
You could sponsor a poor, hungry Ashaman.
If you go one up from that or greater, you do actually also get the episode early. We do drop all of our episodes a week and a half out effectively at this point, but you would actually get it 2 days after it records. So it would still be fresh, still piping hot out of the oven, and we'd love for you to see that kind of stuff as fresh and as nice as you can.
So fresh and so clean.
Only took us 2 years to get ahead of schedule. Only 2 years.
Only 2.
Yeah.
And when you're done having your best fun at our website at blacktowerpod.com, you're probably going to need a crystal to wash away the taint. And we've got you covered there too. The Crystal Barista is the one you need to talk to. Longtime sponsor of the show and my better half. She runs a crystal and rock and mineral shop where you can get literally anything you could ever want from the rock, gem, and mineral world. If you want a subscription box, she's got that. If you want to purchase a crystal or a shiny rock or jewelry, she's got that. Literally anything. If you want to come out here to Utah and find your own rocks, you can do that too. They lead all kinds of different trips in the summers. So go on over to crystalbarista.com, or you can go on to facebook.com/rockpick, or there's, any number of ways to get a hold of her. Those are the best two, though. But yes, you're definitely going to want to check that out if you have any interest in the Sparkle Shinies.
Yep. And then once you're done getting everything you need to make sure the vibes in your house are cleansed, or that you just got some pretty stuff to put on your steering wheel and effectively turn it into a claymore, because no, don't do that. That's a bad idea. Don't do that. Your car doesn't need to be cleansed that bad.
On your steering wheel. It's a bad idea.
You can find your way over to something that, just like my soul, is touched by the shadow, but much like this little hair flip that I just noticed, isn't all bad. And you can head on over to thegreatblight.com. Hey, I just noticed it. I'm like, I kind of like it.
You're adorable.
It's like
you're like
Superman is showing.
It's like the Wish version of Clark
he's like
Kent.
a bearded Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
Hot.
Foreshadowing.
Hot.
Anyway, thegreatblight.com is made by a YouTube content creator that you know very well, of course. That is Nabliss and his amazing team and staff there at thegreatblight.com. First things first, the site boasts one of the best and most comprehensive list of Wheel of Time content creators, all the way from things to watch on YouTube, to podcasts to listen to trivia to play, to artists and musicians to enjoy their lovely creations. And after you've done picking your next YouTube video, hours to watch, then you can go over and fact check us. You can see if Morshadi knows everything he's talking about when he corrects us in the live chat. And they are boasting an ever-growing and ever-expanding wiki that is spoiler-friendly.
Yes.
You've only read through book 5, and you want to read about Egwene, then you can read Egwene, and you can stop right at the end of Fires of Heaven and not be spoiled by anything else. There's also maps that are accurate to the book depictions of the overall landmass of Randland, as well as individual nations and towns. So go on over and enjoy that. And if you see something that maybe isn't working or is buggy or broken, make sure that you click the buttons at the very top right that tells this where you can make a suggestion or report a problem and help Nabliss and team make thegreatblight.com all that much better.
Make the Great Blight great again. No?
Hey,
this is not the day.
Stop it. Don't do that.
It's always the day.
Get some
So
help.
now that we've got through all that, you guys know why you're here. You're not here to hear us talk about merch and other people. You're here for us to talk about things. But before we talk about the things, we have to introduce our guests. And let me just say right now, they've raised the value of the scenery on this episode. You know them as those who are constantly traveling on the road to Tar Valon. We have with us today Amber and Traci. You guys are awesome. Introduce yourselves. Yay!
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us. Seriously, this is really fun.
I feel blessed.
And we're just
Listening to our plugs was fun. Oh my gosh, you are some of my favorite people.
right? So why don't you guys go ahead and introduce
Live.
yourselves? Tell us what you do, who you are, where you're from, all the goodness. Give us the tea.
The tea. Spill the tea, Traci.
Okay. So Amber and I have known each other for over a decade. Is that right?
Yeah.
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 And
That's
Amber,
funny.
it's this many, everyone.
I can count.
Sometimes in multiple languages, not frequently.
That's fair.
But Amber moved to Germany how long ago?
About close to 9 years ago.
Yeah. And so we've kept up a correspondence with each other through whatever means of impossible. And over the spring, as everything in our world was shutting down, we found each other again and we're talking and chatting. And she was telling me about The Expanse, which is the other thing that we geek out hard over. We're
So do you guys-
multifaceted geeks.
Yeah.
Did you guys
lots
see the
of-
hashtag Malik for Mazrim?
No.
Oh.
Oh.
You guys need to see that. Someone,
I feel like
sorry,
I'm
not to
missing
out.
interrupt your
I'll be back.
intro.
Bye. No.
Little
Please
tangent
do.
here, but someone pointed out that, and I can't remember his name, Malik, he is one of the characters in The Expanse,
Mhm.
and he looks, and they took one of his pictures where he's in a suit and he's like all sexy and menacing towards the camera, and it described Mazrim Taim, and it was like, oh my god, that's him.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
him.
it was
freaky.
pretty bang on.
It was pretty.
Okay.
We'll have to locate that for you so you can see.
Indeed.
Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry,
All
go
right,
ahead.
well, I'm
Yeah.
done here.
No.
Bye, guys.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I got Expanse.
Amber's
shit
like,
to
I
do
got
now."
some stuff to do.
Listen, I know we were going to do an episode with you guys, but more important things have come up. And you know what? We understand.
Right, yeah. It's Expanse
I'm
catch-up
gonna
time.
become alone.
Honestly, same.
Right, yeah. I'm
Same.
behind a
And
couple
probably
episodes.
a change of pants.
Anyway, so go
Anyway.
ahead. Sorry.
So in the process of us talking about books and TV shows, she was like, I just started picking up this one book or this one series. And she was like, I'm about 2 books in and it's 14 books long. And I was like, oh my God, is it The Wheel of Time? And she was
Say
like,
the
yes. And I
name.
was like, yes.
Say the name.
Welcome.
I know,
Mhm.
right? It was so fun. So like we just kept spending all this time talking about it. And I'm kind of a podcast junkie. Like I produced podcasts for the History Club when I was a student at the university that I attended. I started a media company with a friend of mine, and the production that we did got aired on like our NPR local station. So like for me, this
Nice.
is like I know, right?
Fun time.
I really just
So this is
love
like
podcasts.
amateur hour for
Oh.
you.
No,
You're like,
no. Oh my God. Oh my God. No.
Be careful there, Tracy.
Podcast.
You're giving me the vapors.
I've been on NPR. Get on my level.
No, God, no, not at all. Like there are so many things that I'm such an amateur about, and I mean, that's just it. Is like, if you're a history major, everybody's always like, yeah, what are you going to do with that degree? And I'm like, anything I want. I know all
Anything
kinds of
I
tech
want.
stuff now. Like, I don't know. It was just a fun thing to like take on. But then like, we realized we talked so much about Wheel of Time that I was like, let's make a podcast.
Yeah.
Like all I'm doing is kicking around my house, making sure my kid doesn't kill himself. Could we like do
Yeah, we were on
something?
the phone every week for way
At
too much
least
time
2
talking
hours.
about it anyways. So
Yeah.
We
it
should
was the
record
natural
this.
progression.
Exactly. I was like, hey, do you want to buy a microphone? Do you maybe
feel
want to
like-
do this with me?
I feel like such an
I like it.
amateur. Daniel's been
no.
on a game show and won his episode. Josh has got a sweet muscle car.
In the world.
Tracy's
dope
created
breed.
like a
Not
media
sweet
group
right
and been
now.
producing podcasts. Amber is Amber, and I'm just sitting here like,
I know, right? That's all you
I don't even know
need.
what I'm doing.
It's all awesome. It's all
It's
awesome.
all-
It
I
is.
love everything,
Everything
you do.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you guys
Agreed.
that's
are
okay
awesome.
because
We're-
Josh is gonna fix my classic car when he's done with his. So
What kind of
Ooh.
car do you have?
Yeah, I want to know
Curious.
too.
I
Me?
in desperate
Yeah.
need of rest. Oh,
I have
Both.
both.
All
Both. Both is good.
anyone.
I have a 62 Ford Falcon,
Ooh.
and it's not gonna look like a 62 Ford Falcon when I'm done with it.
It's
And-
gonna look like a 63 Ford Falcon.
Hey! No, so the
I
person
really
I
was
bought it
trying to
from,
figure out what changes you would make.
yeah.
I'm curious now.
Well, the person I bought it from had already like changed out the transmission and did some work on the engine, and they just really kind of messed it up. So
Ooh.
there's any hope of like restoring it to its like original stockroom beauty is just kind of gone.
doesn't matter what you
Aw.
do to it. All that matters is that you live your life a quarter mile at a time.
Quarter mile at a time.
And I'll, you
It's
know what?
been a
We'll
long
recreate
American muscle.
we'll recreate that
Got you,
scene.
my
Hopefully, you
friend.
know, though we'll see each other again. You can be
Yeah.
in yours, and I'll be in my
It's-
hopefully by then
Well,
restored '76 Corvette Stingray.
Ooh.
Except that yours is a
Ooh.
Corvette and yours is. They're both American muscle.
It's
You
true.
can't do
that's
that.
why our
European
1200 movies are going to be better.
So I just have to interject here because my dad raised me like going to car shows and stuff. And when we were living out in Oregon, I fell in love with the Land Rovers. And I was just like convinced that they were just like the sexiest vehicles. And so I got one. And then I found out how much it takes to like maintain those cars and
Oh,
how
yeah.
expensive that is.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like I had named her Boudica because I was like, she's this British beastly babe of a car. Like I just
Yes.
loved that car. So we finally had to kind of give up on it because it was like just taking her to the shop all the time was so expensive.
Did
And now I
you
get to
send
drive
her
a
to a farm
Kia.
upstate?
I
A magic farm?
The Kia?
Almost like old Jesse.
the Land Rover farm?
The old Yeller
They all just
treatment.
roam free?
along with my former Mac, they're off in like the field frolicking together.
That's right.
Uh,
All right. Well,
anyway,
we are
I appreciate
so-
the love of cars.
oh,
Yes.
Sorry.
we'll have to nerd out a little bit because I've got like all of it going on in my head right now. But I'm
I
like,
love
change the compression radio to 1101. Yeah. Just,
Yeah.
anyway,
but let's go
we're
ahead and
not
start
here to
getting
talk
ready.
Cars.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and
welcome
start
to the
getting
Black
ready.
Tower Garage podcast.
Hell yeah.
Listen
I'm
here,
down for
motherfucker. I
that.
swear to God, if you don't be one more goddamn time.
I wasn't ready for that.
Neither was I.
I'm
was
always
good.
ready for that.
I think Daniel just now expects me to like do some at least mildly assholeish thing once during every intro.
Well, and at least half the time, actually, you haven't done it that recently, but it used to be like once every 2 times he would do it in a sound changer mod,
Oh yeah.
and it would
Ooh.
freak me the
That's
fuck
true.
out. It would,
We've
does
talked
happen.
about doing that. We've talked about that.
Well, we're
Would you do me, Daniel? I do.
Did I mention? Did I mention?
now
You
we
have
got
brought
two
the beast
robot
back.
voices.
Lucifer on your
So-
on your mic.
Wait a minute.
So-
were we
What
going
we're
to talk about
here-
Wheel of Time stuff?
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah,
that what
but
we were
before
here
we
to
talk
talk
about
about?
Wheel of
Guys,
Time.
get in line. I'm just kidding.
Right? Yeah.
But before we can,
Yes.
But before we can.
everybody should always have and use, or at least be offered, protection. Because that's
That is
just
true.
the humane thing to do. That is human decency. So, for this episode, you probably heard it before, and if you haven't, you're in for a treat.
Oh, Tracy, I
Because
can't wait for you. This is all
Here,
new to you. I can't wait.
here is this episode's a spoiler condom. He just hopped back in the live chat, so hope you enjoy.
Welcome to the Black Tower. This is your spoiler condom. If you have not read the complete works of Robert Jordan, The Wheel of Time, books 1 to 14, and also New Spring, Big
You, Andrew.
Bad Book of White
Andrew.
Arts, and The
Andrew.
Companion, you are at risk of being spoiled. Spoilers come with side effects. These side effects may include headache, nausea, vomiting, death, dizziness, vaginal or penile eruptions and ejaculations, dysentery, cardiac arrhythmia, mild heart explosions, varicose veins, darkened stool, darkened souls, more vomiting, arthritis, hemorrhoids or diabetes, virginity, mild discomfort, vampirism or werewolfism, gender inequality for the whole planet, spontaneous dental hydroplosion, sugar highs, even more vomiting, or maybe just a mild rash. If you cannot deal with these side effects, please leave now for fear of spoilers. You have been warned.
Oh, Rob.
Oh,
I'm
Just tell
so
you that
glad-
one of my
I'm so glad there's
absolute
such a
favorite-
disclaimer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
I'm
you
pretty
should
sure.
hear-
I just want to say, I
should
think
hear
I
the
have
other
at
one.
least one of
They're
those
both-
already.
You
Right?
Guess
don't
which one-
need to disclose which one.
It's okay.
I'm
you
not
dental-
gonna. I'm not
Your
gonna. This is
dental
a guessing game.
hydroplosion will sort itself out.
I'll just point back to Daniel's earlier comment about needing new pants. Take that for what you will.
I think one of my favorite things about that spoiler warning is that death gets thrown in so early and so casual.
There are worse.
And
Not
things
then
even
than
the
that,
worst
my
one.
friends.
Right?
It keeps going for dizziness is after death.
Yeah, and vomiting at least 3 times.
One
Yeah.
after death.
That sounds like like a mid 2000s emo band, Dizziness After Death.
Right?
Whoa.
Am I
Breathe.
Definitely does. Yeah, that's funny.
Welcome to tonight's episode. I'm sure you
man.
want to know what we're talking about.
I
In
do.
this case,
I do.
But before we talk about what we're talking about, we're going to
Traci
go on
and Amber
another
are like,
tangent.
what are we talking about? We just kind of showed up. Hey, welcome to the club. That's what I do every week. No, tonight we are talking about Wheel of Time epic fails.
I'm excited.
Okay.
Epic fail.
When we go through the series, there are moments, and now I will not limit this to just plot points. If there is something that you think the author, Robert Jordan, just failed, or Brandon Sanderson, that they just failed, that could have been so much better if you had done this instead of that, you can throw that out as an epic fail. In the meantime, tonight's episode will be about epic fails in the Wheel of Time.
And with the ones about the author, we're not even going to ask you to differentiate between, is it an epic fail from when it was written, or is it an epic fail looking back on it now?
Ooh.
So you can, whatever you want. Now, if you call something an epic fail, I can't just be like,
be able to defend it.
yeah,
Okay.
Just for
you gotta have an argument for it. We're here at the Black Tower. We are proponents of logic and fair thought. So hopefully defend your points better than I defend 85% of mine.
So it can't be like, I don't like him because he's a big fat doo-doo head.
That's
That
right.
depends. You're allowed to say that about 2 people in the series. Number 1,
Duck sauce.
Who?
no. Number 1 is Asunawa.
Oh, okay.
Number 2 is duck sauce.
Duck sauce.
Duck sauce is
If you
Gawain.
eat too much duck sauce, you will
Gawain
have
is
a number
duck
2.
sauce.
Gawain. Yeah, Gawain is
Ooh.
duck sauce because
There you
every
go.
time you order
There's some
Chinese
toilet
food,
humor.
you get duck sauce packets, and you're like,
Mhm.
ooh, duck sauce. But nobody ever uses it. They just throw it away.
It
It's
doesn't
there.
taste like duck at all.
Nobody knows
Like
why
Gawain.
it's there, but they
I use
always give it to you. That's why Gawain's always
that-
there.
I think the
I use
tang is
it.
supposed to help with the oily fattiness of the duck.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
great with crab rangoon.
Yeah, no. When you, as just said, when you get the series, when you're reading book 1,
Mm-hmm.
you think to yourself, oh, this guy's great. He's going to help me with the oily fattiness of Galad and Talonvor, and he's going to be a great help to, the
And he
taste
just
of the crab rangoons, Elaine, and things like that. And then you try it, and you're
Mhm.
like, why did I do this to myself? It's now book 7, and I hate this sauce. This is terrible. Who put this in my bag? And then
So
by
should
the
we
time
just
you're
start
done
out
with
like
your meal, you
bashing
just-
Gawain?
I think
I
that's
mean-
what's happening.
Amber-
Is that
Amber-
what an
every
epic fail?
episode.
He is one of those,
Amber-
like, you reach your hand into the bag of Wheel of Time to find some, like, horrible instance or some
Ew.
shitty thing to talk about, and you think you
It's
finally
Gawain
found
again.
the golden
I
fortune
put my
cookie, and
hand
you
in
pull
some
it out,
Gawain.
and it's just duck sauce packets.
I like that
Amber,
you're
why don't-
writing it on your shirt though.
Yeah.
Ew, it
Yes,
got
it is.
gone
Yeah.
all over
Yeah.
me. Like that's
Yeah,
just,
no,
sorry, that's just
definitely.
funny.
That was. I'm gonna
Amber,
need a
why don't you
second
give
to-
us our
Oh,
first
God,
epic fail?
my God.
Why don't you kick
Ooh,
us off
first
here?
epic fail. Okay.
Everywhere.
I'm going to go right off the bat with Agenor. Just,
Ooh.
okay.
Call
So
him out.
hear
Okay.
me out.
No,
All
I
right.
get it.
He's supposed to be really badass, super powerful, shows up at the actual eye of the world and just kind of like,
Gets his ass kicked.
yeah, he burns himself out. And I'm like, okay, well, that was a little anticlimactic, but all right.
I'm
And
a
then-
professional. But
Yeah, right?
I'm
So-
an adult. Power on the ground.
Right? So he basically nukes himself and then he comes back as Osengar, and I'm thinking, okay, like this is the guy that created Trollocs and a bunch of this really horrible, terrible stuff. So he's going to be up to something crazy and cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, No, he shows up. He shows up at the cleansing of Sidene, and all he does is like complain that he's like out of shape. Like, oh, I wish I could do more, but yeah. And then my final point on Agenor, I have to
picture him like breathing heavily, trying to make it up the hill to attack everybody. He's just like, Dark one, I'll be. Great Lord, I'll be here.
Oh, he does. And then my last point is actually, I got it. This is not my own thought, but I got it from someone else. This guy, Robert from Australia, who's hilarious, almost won the meme off, but he said that Agenor's greatest failure is that he didn't create sexy cat ladies when he had the chance.
Agreed.
You win the
totally
episode.
had the opportunity.
No,
Could have done it.
you don't understand, Amber. That's exactly what he was trying to make.
And he failed. Epic fail.
Are the byproduct
So
of what happens when you actually try to make sexy cat ladies.
Is you get
That only
trolls.
You
works.
get Drakkar.
So what you're
That
saying
only
here,
works in anime.
so what you're saying here is
We
now
live
that
in the
we're
real world here, the one with magic and
Mhm.
dragons.
Yeah, that one.
so what you're
Yeah.
saying is now that
Good.
we're in the first age and Japan has authorized cross-species genetic engineering, Agenor is
Trollocs.
actually a secret scientist in Japan.
Burn it with fire.
Yeah.
this
all
age.
the kaiju come out to play.
That's
I
right.
thought it was obvious.
Why
Yeah,
is that
no.
kaiju a sexy cat girl? Don't question it.
No question.
Just need to make big robots to fight them. Okay?
I gotta say, I agree entirely.
Why does the
I
robot
mean,
have accurate jiggle
Agenor-
physics? What the fuck?
Agenor is one of the first. Agenor and Bilal, right? Those are the two that are
Mhm.
released
No,
first. The
Baltham.
Eye of the World.
Baltham.
Baltham.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Baltham.
That guy.
And they
That's
show
the
up
one.
and they're like,
Baltham. He's literally pulled from religion,
they're all like,
dude.
come
Yeah.
at me, and he's talking
Yeah.
smack, and then what happens? Like,
They're
and,
like a
and to
slightly
be
more
fair,
successful version of Team Rocket.
oh,
Here goes
Prepare
Agenor
for
blasting
trouble.
off again.
Make it double. Agenor, Balthamol.
Baltham.
No,
Forsaken
clearly-
blasting off at the speed of light.
they clearly had no idea who they were up against when they showed up. And to be fair, like Lon and Moraine, they're like, hey, I'm a warder and she's Aes Sedai. And they're like, whatever, dude, I
Right.
don't care.
and Agenor, he's just like a braggart. He's like bragging to Rand, like, oh, I went up against Luthera and I'm a badass,
Yeah.
and then just
And
Well, and I
Rand's
have
like,
to-
surprise, motherfucker.
Well, and
exactly.
I have to admit, to Agenor's credit, which he shouldn't get that much, because I completely agree with your point. I absolutely agree with your point. But to give him a little bit of credit, the fact that he did not expect the Dragon Reborn to be there in that moment is not undue. I mean, the dragon was gone for a very long
He didn't even know how long they were out.
And
Yeah.
and I also love how like Rand was just as surprised as Agenor. So like
So true,
everybody
so
in the
true.
scene was like super surprised that this was happening. But also, again, not taking anything away. I think you are 100% correct.
Thank
that
you.
the two biggest missed opportunities were Agenor doing a little bit more with his freedom right off the bat, and then him never doing any more experiments. I completely agree with that. That is the strongest Agenor epic fail point
Right.
of just like
Mhm.
you did so much
Good
cool
point.
shit, dude, and you have nothing new for version 2.0. Like, really? Come on.
We have
Yeah.
all of these books to go through, and I'm thinking like, oh, he's gonna come up with some crazy creation,
But he
something
never
does.
epic.
You know what it is?
Speaking of
Happen.
creation,
You know what it is? You know what it is? When he was reincarnated, he got boobs, and it distracted him. It just lost his focus. He couldn't do it. He was just like, "Oh,
Man
hey,
boobs?
girls."
No.
No, because Eric.
Regular boobs. Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't Agenor the one that got changed into a lady, or was that?
That's Balthamo.
Yeah, I
spells
think
them
it's
out.
reverse.
The way you
Oh,
remember
okay,
it
never
is
mind.
Agenor starts with an A, so it cannot be
You're
Arengar.
right. You're right. Okay, never mind.
that's how I
My
Look
joke
at the
remember it.
sucks.
switch.
Hey,
Yeah.
Andrew, what's your epic fail so I can bury my face in this shame?
Like from my life, or the books. Yeah, that's what we're talking
Oh
about.
yeah.
Here's one. So again, like all of these, and I don't know why I keep saying it, because we're always going to do it. But hear me out.
Ooh.
Barrelane attempting to seduce Rand,
Oh, yeah.
because
She misread that.
where it
Wah,
makes
wah.
it so much more of a fail is think about all the prep work she put into getting ready for this, because Barrelane was sitting in her room making sure the dress was just see-through enough but not too see-through, making sure that all of her hair was right, making sure everything was good, making sure that her well-turned calves were properly smooth. Maybe reading up a little bit on like what the hillbillies do down in Two Rivers, trying to relate, something like that.
Yeah. She wanted
then
to
she
be
shows up.
relatable.
She shows up
Dude,
with this like very confident.
Completely missed the section about mirrors. Completely missed the Two Rivers section about mirrors.
Yeah.
Sorry, she shows up.
So then she shows up and she's got this like, kind of I'm a very successful model type swag. Like I know I'm attractive, and who doesn't want this?
I can't help
Right,
it.
right.
And she walks in and is there for like 5 seconds, and a literal hell breaks loose from the mirrors. And then all she could do is cower in the corner. When everything is said and done, she's looking at this guy that literally just danced with the sword over glasses, cut the fuck up, and just sitting there like,
And she's like, I left the oven on.
and then she's just like,
I gotta say though, my new headcanon is Jessica Rabbit as Barrelane.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, yeah.
If they actually have a real person try to play Barrelane, they will.
If they have a real,
I want
no,
this
they're
now.
just gonna superimpose Jessica Rabbit.
Rabbit. Jessica Rabbit
Yeah.
She's got to walk
in the show.
She's got to walk into Rand's room and go, I'm not bad. I'm just drawing this. What the fuck?
Yes.
That was probably
Yeah.
really loud
Yep.
for my roommates.
I think
They
the
don't
biggest
mind.
I think the biggest like thing that goes along with this point is Barrelane is like, oh, okay, it didn't work with the dragon. Well, hey, there's that scruffy buff dude over there. I'm gonna go
That
hit on
scruffy
him.
looking nerf.
Yeah, she
herder
just
over
kind of
there.
like
And not only that, but she like brags. She gets in his face and she's like, I always get what I want, except
Yeah.
for the dragon.
Yeah. I mean, which, to be
Except
fair,
for that one time I almost died from the dragon's reflections.
to like take a little bit of a dig
To
at
be
Robert
fair.
Jordan, like this is kind of one of those like schoolboy kind of myths, and some people make it true, but it's not all the time true. That sometimes a love interest will be like, oh, I can't have you. I'm gonna fuck your friend.
yeah.
Now in this,
Yeah.
he does a little further, and like there's at least if you look into it more, some like political reasoning behind it. Whenever you learn more about Barrelane and why she is willing to be as at least seemingly promiscuous, I don't think she's
Right.
nearly as promiscuous as she is portrayed to be.
She's
I
got
think
a
there's
really
only-
messed up situation in Tier. I mean,
Yeah, I think she only mentioned, like, I think she mentions at some point in the books that she's only taken like 2 or 3 men to her bed. And like, so she's just kind of like this giant flirt.
Oh,
And I
she's
mean-
a huge tease.
As a man,
Yeah,
if she's
but,
like
like,
attractive
when-
enough that the rest don't even make it halfway down the hallway. They're like, I need to go practice the sword forms.
Well, I have to admit that again, we've actually talked about Barrelane on this show before as an incredible leader.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
again, like I don't necessarily want to get into like the sexism of it on some
Mhm.
level, but she is a super attractive woman
Mm-hmm.
who knows what she wants and typically how to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And she is really, really good at making promises
Mm-hmm.
without ever or making people think that she's made promises
Mhm.
without ever actually making the promise. And then they do what she wants and she doesn't sleep with them. And it's fine because like most of these people are total pieces of shit. Because if your entire basis on your political decision was getting in bed with the ruler of a nation, you kind of deserve.
You failed anyways.
Yeah, you already failed.
Yeah.
Sorry, Daniel. Have you met the High Lords of Tyr? That is exactly what they do. Let me stroke my pointy oiled beard.
They're terrible.
When you first mentioned Berlin, I thought for sure you were gonna say Perrin, because like that whole Berlin Perrin thing through the whole thing, I'm just like, why don't you just give up already? Like, you're so much more than this obsession with a man. Like, just get over him and be the badass we all know you could be. Just move on.
Well, I was trying to stick with epic fails, not just epic tragedy.
Right.
That's just fucking sad.
Yeah.
I just love how like Ruark spends so much time improving Berlin on all.
And the wise ones and the
wise
ideal,
ones,
they're just like, we love you, Berlin. You're
Yeah.
so strong. You're so great.
Yeah.
Right. And
Well, I will say
not have gotten that much praise if she wasn't dope as shit, which we don't see as much of as I kind of wish we did. But again,
agreed.
There's already 14 books. We don't necessarily need to make it 15 to just show Berlin, even though I still want it.
Yeah.
It's like if you're gonna cut that. But the one thing that I will say is that like she just spends basically 2 books doing all of this Perrin stuff, and then literally the second she sees Galad, she's like,
heart eyes.
Never mind. I'm super over you. You get what you want.
She swerved on Perrin hard.
Right.
Totally.
Well, and of course, Perrin was sitting there being like, Galad, I will pay you your money later. Thank God you showed up.
If you can get rid of her, you get a bonus.
Yeah.
No, I will say in Berlane's defense, which I do so at my own peril.
At your own Perrin?
She did. So there is one point in time. There is one point in time where she looks at Perrin and she goes, look, we can pause the game. Okay, we don't have to.
I love that part.
This.
Oh my God, it's so good.
And Perrin is so stupid. Like, I love Perrin. I do.
For a guy that can practically read people's minds by like smelling them, sometimes I'm just like, guy, come on.
Right.
Come on.
He's so frustrating at times. But like, he is so stupid that he's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, no, really, it's cool. Like, pause.
Whatever you need right now.
Let's get Fael
whoever
back.
You need me to be, and whatever you need.
And he's like, oh my God, shut up. Stop it. What? I don't even know what you're talking. She's like, okay, fine. Game on. And he's like,
wait,
what the hell are you talking about? She like gives him the opportunity. Like, Perrin's stupidity almost perpetuates her pursuit.
Yeah.
Because he's a big dumb guy. Like most
of them. I also love how, again, Amber has such a good point of like, he smells the emotion and he basically knows what's going on with just about everybody. And how many times in the books does it talk about Perrin goes, oh, Fael's mad at me. I should ask her about it.
What smells like ozone?
And like literally, I'm not saying that like I'm mildly dense when it comes to relationships. I have definitely made the same mistake more than once in relationships before. I'm not like saying I am the best person at this or anything along those lines. But by like time number 3, if you go, she's mad at me. And the last 2 times she was mad at me and I asked about it, she got more mad.
Yeah.
Don't keep asking.
Quit infringing on people's thoughts.
It makes me think of the Goofy meme. It's like, oh, you shouldn't ask her if she's mad again. It'll just make her madder.
Yeah.
I'll fucking do it again.
Oh, do it again. I love an Inside Out when the mom is sitting there. It's like, signal the husband. And then the husband's emotions are like watching hockey or something. And he's like, wait a minute, we're being signaled by the mother. What'd she say? I don't know. No one was paying attention, sir. What, we left the toilet up? We didn't take the garbage out? What, woman? What?
Is that a movie?
good.
What is that?
Inside Out is amazing.
Inside Out?
If you have not
Have you
watched
not seen it?
it's a Disney Pixar
No.
movie about
It's one of the
emotion.
greatest movies ever.
That
It's
just makes
so
me think of Inside Out Boy from Nickelodeon.
Not the
Yeah.
same thing
Not the same.
at all.
Yeah.
Yes.
A little
I'll
bit of a
consider checking
precursor
it
to
out.
Inside Out because you definitely need to, and I think this
Okay.
is absolutely fucking hilarious.
Kind of
Somebody
ironic because
made
that
a
kind of sounds like
list.
it's a core memory.
Right. Somebody
No.
made a list of all of the Pixar movies in chronological order from when they came out. And next to it, it just has the title.
Mhm.
And then, so it starts with Toy Story and it just says, what if toys had feelings? And then it just goes all the way down of just what if ants had feelings? What if fish have feelings? What
Oh,
if
that's
cars
true.
have feelings?
What
And
if
literally
people
all of
had
them are just-
feelings?
No. The favorite part is it gets down to Inside Out. Oh, my absolute favorite one actually is Up, which is what if old people and dogs had feelings? That's what Up is, and it's hilarious. Then it goes all the way down to Inside Out, and it's just what if feelings had
Had
feelings?
feelings?
It's amazing.
Okay.
It's just feelception. It's so
That-
good.
the cool thing-
Feelception.
Again, this is the Black Tower podcast, so we're all about our tangents here. But the cool thing about Inside Out is they actually did have a
Feelings?
psychologist come in and help them write the film.
Oh, how
Yep.
nice.
And they do a really great visual representation of how our
Andrew
psyche-
left. He's bored.
Yeah,
Andrew's
he's
like-
done.
No, Andrew needed
That
to
is
get
not
him a
true.
drink.
But they do a really great job of illustrating how our psyche adapts to different situations, and
Yes.
Yeah.
adults have emotions that are a lot more tame and leveled out and a little bit more uniform, whereas kids have emotions that are like
Boom,
all over the
boom,
place.
Overwhelming.
And
Boom,
it's great. It's
boom.
really
Yeah,
awesome.
it's so good.
I have a 6-year-old who is the outer embodiment of all of his emotions.
It would be fantastic for you to watch, and
You
him.
should definitely watch
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
It
He'd
would be
probably
great.
like it, actually. I'll put it on for us. He's very into Bob's Burgers right now. Like that's his favorite
Ah,
one.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't
Bob's
object.
Burgers.
It's like my favorite comfort show. So I'm like, yes,
It's
of
good.
course we can watch Bob's Burgers. Please
So-
do that.
So to continue on with the actual subject of the show,
Wait,
We
what
have
was
Tracy?
subjects for the show.
I know, right?
I feel
You
like I
have a
only
show?
have I feel like I only have to
Welcome back, Andrew, and screw you, buddy.
I have
Don't make
like
promises
one
you
word.
can't keep.
I have one
Okay.
word for my fail.
Tracy's got one word. She's gonna
One
sum it
word.
all up.
Elida. Done.
Yeah.
Finished. That's everything.
That's
I'm done.
too easy.
It was nice hanging out with you
What?
guys.
Wow.
Well, folks, that's our show. Thanks for tuning in.
I'm sorry,
Good night.
Amber. Do you,
I-
there's another bus. Do you want to just push right, right under it?
We got a
That's
whole
too
line of
easy.
buses. I can
You
do this
can't
all
do
day.
that.
It's cool. I get to
picked
pick it.
one that was
I get to
really
pick an
good, and
easy
you're
one
gonna go
this
with
time.
Elida?
No. I get to pick an easy one this time because when we recorded with Rob and we were like, who are like some key people to talk about? I was like, Guitar Amorosa, done. Like, so I picked a tough one for that one. I get an easy one on this one, and Elida is my easy one out. Plus, I love to hate her. She's just so awful.
I think if we're going to talk about her fails, every single one of her foretellings is just
right.
the most.
It's just right there. It's right in your face. And you're like, wow, you're really all about you, aren't you? Okay. Okay.
And the foretellings are good.
Yeah.
They
She's just
are.
absolute dog shite at interpreting them.
Right.
Yeah,
and she puts
she's-
herself at the center of everything. Like when she has that foretelling where it's like, well, Amber and I actually just did a 101 on her Sunday. So like I feel like Elida's really fresh in my brain too, which is helpful because it's like roughly pumpkin time for me. So it's true.
No,
Amber,
I get
I'm
it. I get what you're
But
saying
it's
there.
January.
Stop it.
It's always pumpkin time. Anyway, so Elida's foretellings, like she always puts herself in the center of it. Like when she has the foretelling when she's like, the world will be rent and or the tower will be rent in two, and like the Amerlin will be bowed to, or whatever. Like she doesn't realize she's not talking about herself.
It's so
Like,
bad.
yeah, and like just the way that she constantly behaves, because she's like, no, I had a foretelling and everything is fine now, and you're like, but is it
Everything
really?
is awesome.
Right? And then like
Everything
it's
is cool because it's foretold.
Have you seen the meme? So it's these two guys, and they're sitting there, and they're using coat hangers, and they're like smacking on the coat hangers like they're fish hooks. And then the guy in the background gets like, it jerks him away.
Yeah.
And the other guy like stops and like looks at him. And is like, it's like Elida's foretellings, and then Elida.
Yeah.
yeah.
She is such a great example of, well, she's the Sauron of this series, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with the exception that she doesn't like straight up turn to evil. She thinks she's doing the right thing, but she's
Elida
being
not
manipulated.
being Black Aja is like
shocking.
Yeah.
Right?
Shocking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's another one of her fails. Her fail is that she's not even bad enough to be Black Aja.
I mean, Egwene says that. I would name you Dark Friend, but I feel the Dark One would be ashamed to be associated with it. It's like,
boom.
Yeah.
ow.
Sickest
Not even a
burn
sensu bean
in
is
the
going to heal
whole
that
series.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then like the whole, like her being carried off by the Shan Chen, and she's like, why is my bed undulating? And you're like, God, how dumb are you? Like, and she's like, oh God, this color. And then I always think about how Gwyn, like, time after time after time was getting beaten, and how it just took like one swat from like a soul dam for Elida to be like, I'm broken.
She's like Dolores Umbridge.
She is.
Oh,
she is so the Dolores Umbridge of the series.
Ooh, yeah. I hate her.
Or really,
everyone does. I'm gonna be.
Umbridge is the Elida of that series.
I'm gonna go on record right now. If you like Dolores Umbridge, go away.
You have no soul.
You are not the person we want here.
Gosh, there are no people. You don't even need to say that. They're already gone.
I'm triggered just thinking about anyone who might even like the possibility that someone might like.
There's like one person out there that's
talked about on that episode. We're just like, I mean, and if you like Elida, please let us know. I am interested.
It's like one person out there just like unsubscribe.
Good riddance.
I have to admit, I do actually like Elida as a plot point.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
He sets up so much stuff, and I do actually really appreciate that Robert Jordan included a number of characters who weren't evil, who weren't Black Aja, who weren't necessarily sitting there trying to forward evil's agenda, like because it was their own, but just ended up doing it because they were complete morons.
Delusional.
Just because you are not the bad guy does not mean you are not the bad guy.
Without Alviarin.
Yeah.
She's not,
She's
not a character without the Black Aja using her.
Right. Well, and the
she's
thing,
super lame without actually going ahead and having another nefarious thing going on.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like again, the best part about a fictional story is the reality of it. And how many people in the world aren't actually Hitler?
Who knows an Elida? Does everyone know an Elida?
Everyone knows an Elida.
In terms of they're not actually evil necessarily. They're just so dumb and so selfish and so bad at it.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of one of my favorite movie quotes.
Evil.
It reminds me of one of my favorite movie quotes. And let's see if you guys know what movie this is from. It's a little bit obscure though.
Movie quote of the day.
He doesn't have to be evil for evil to use him.
So for Amber and Tracy, if you know it,
don't say it out loud.
Put it in chat, but don't say it out loud.
Yes.
He doesn't have to be evil for evil to use him. And that's,
Interesting.
I think this is one of the things that, I mean, I know this is about epic fails, but I just have to give props to Robert Jordan here because he wrote a story in which people are people.
Yeah.
And they
That was
don't,
that was actually
don't
one of the
see
big
it.
things that we touched on when we were talking about Elida. Was it Elida? No, it was actually when we were talking about Sadine and like how I think that was the one that was released today. Is that right?
Yes.
Regardless, like one
Right.
of the things that we talked about is how like there are so many gender flips in the Wheel of Time, and how one of the things that's really nice about it is like women get to be awful. Like
Yeah.
regardless of whether or not they're associated with the shadow, they still get to be horrible, terrible, awful human beings, which is
Yes.
nice because I mean, let's face it, like if you're
That's
a
real
human
life.
being, yeah, that's real life. Like
Well,
that's not
yeah.
just like that's
And
not
that's
just
one of the
something that
things-
Robert Jordan wrote. That's something that we live with in our world. So
Right.
I really appreciated the opportunity because we just too often are like, oh, it's a woman. How could she possibly be bad? And I'm like, oh, let me tell you all the ways I could be bad.
well,
Just
and you
saying.
get
Have
like,
you ever
like Lord of the
met
Rings.
women?
Right,
Some
I know.
of them are
Right.
awful.
Exactly.
Not
we
all
just-
of them. In
it's the
fact, not even
human-
most of them.
No,
but
it's
some
the
of
human
them are
factor.
awful.
Yeah. And I like that. I like that there's a balance for the human factor
Yes.
in
Yeah.
the books. That's one of the things that I really
Agreed.
appreciate.
It's
Yeah.
like when you get Lord of the Rings. There's the good guys over here, and there's the bad guys over here. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Lord of the Rings. Okay, I love Lord of the Rings. Nobody's over here going, the good guys are being dumb, and the bad guys are being like, good guys act like good guys, and bad guys act like bad guys, and it's very clear cut. It's very cut and dry. And even when you get to Gondor, and you've got the steward of Gondor who's being totally crazy, you go, oh, he's a bad guy. He's crazy. He's acting like a bad guy. You don't get that piece of the story that says, no, he's a person defending a city, or he's under control of something, or he's just crazy. He's just a bad dude.
That's just a funny trope. Yeah, that so many times, like when even Rand, when he does really bad things, most of the time it's not like okay, that was a really bad thing, but it's because they're crazy. They're not there. Same thing like in The Hobbit with the dwarves. Whenever he's like, keep the ball away, we're not going to help anybody, seal the entrance. It's like he's obviously mad out of his mind.
Right.
And I like that we do have characters in Wheel of Time, like Elida and all them, that you're actually a really shitty fucking person.
Yeah.
Like, you're not bad, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be sharing a bus seat to hell.
And it says a lot about, I mean, the White Tower too. I mean, Tarman Gaiden is approaching, and she's like, I'm gonna build myself a palace.
I should build a
palace. Like, okay.
I'm
and
not
no one's saying anything to you about this. Like, is this not weird?
Tarman Gaiden approaches, and Elijah's just sitting there like, oh no. Anyway.
Right.
Amber, did you actually miss the part where so many people told her not to do this, and she ended up just going ahead and sending them to the Mistress of Novices to get the shit kicked out of them,
or just took their shawls away?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
just
like,
demoted them.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. You are now an accepted.
But as a whole, it actually takes Egwene getting in there and changing things to them to come together, because everyone was so afraid of her. And it's like, this woman is just, like you said, all it took was one thing. All it took was the collar, and then she's like cowering. Yeah.
And it makes such a beautiful story point.
Which, to be fair, that is like an egregiously horrible thing.
Yeah, definitely.
It is. But like oftentimes people with the biggest bite or the biggest barks do not have the biggest bite.
Exactly.
Elida absolutely is.
You're gonna let that bulldog mouth overload that puppy dog ass. And that's exactly what Elida did.
The ironic thing about this as well is that Elida's failures as a woman, as an Aes Sedai, as an Amarillan, were the opportunities that Egwene needed
to win the respect
of the accepted novices, Aes Sedai, and even eventually the tower itself to become Amerlin. It's amazing. You know,
It's a great
one
plot.
we like to
it
say
totally
the wheel
is.
weaves, brah.
Yeah.
And it's so true. Like that's what
Wait, the
happened.
wheel weaves bras? What?
Wheel weaves, among
Bruh.
other things.
I hope they're wireless at least.
Well, yeah,
the
I
thing-
mean,
like,
they don't need to
Elida-
be charged. Of course they're wireless. Come on. No, I got.
No, that was awesome.
Andrew, it's
in my
14. They
tech
don't
heavy
actually exist
family,
right now.
my husband would have loved that joke. Just so you know, he would
They're
have.
they're
loved
not
it.
just wireless. They're completely gone. for the
Well, good. Then to Tracy's
Yeah.
husband, when you do watch this in the future, you're
This is
welcome.
for you.
Well,
That one was for you, buddy. Daniel, what's your epic fail?
Yeah.
So mine
From the book
also
series.
involves Aes Sedai.
From the books.
Uh,
Good specification there.
I appreciate that because I was about to go into an example about
Yeah,
Aes Sedai.
the time that Aes Sedai
Oh,
epic
that
failed
was
you in real
well.
life.
Me and Tracy
So
could
mine
go
is
for
also
hours
about-
on
Hours.
Aes Sedai failures.
My mind is not in the right spot right now.
So
Oh, God.
mine is actually Tovanne. Tovanne and
Tovanne.
the other sisters. Which is also, again, kind of ties back to Elida's failure, kind of ties back to the vast majority of just the sisters in general that are so... And again, this is just kind of an epic fail in and of itself, but I'm not going to talk about that giant epic fail of the Aes Sedai just thinking that they know everything in the world. But this particular one where they're just like so sure and so hellbent on knowing that there's only a few men at the Black Tower and that they're going to have no
But
defense
to be fair, wasn't
against
the
these trained Aes
Yeah.
Sedai
to be fair,
go up. To be fair.
What's that meme where it's like, where like it always like freeze frames and it says to be continuous, like there's only like maybe 10 men and they show up and there's like
or it's like
a whole
Dukes
bunch
of
of
Hundreds.
Hazzard. The scene
Hundreds.
freezes and it's like, well, how are these boys going to get out of this one?
this is about as screwed up as a lug nut in the rear end of a pig.
Well, I really, really want them. I know that they're not going to, clearly, and it's not actually the right move, but I really would love to have Tovanne on Logain's horse, riding back to the Black Tower, and just hear, "Ease." I bet you're wondering how I got myself into this mess.
I bet you're wondering. I was born.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I met the Ashaman.
Yeah.
Kids, in the summer of 2014.
But was it the some of the Black Aja that were feeding Elida some other nonsense? So she had bad intel.
Yes.
So she's
Yes.
like thinking, oh, there's just maybe a couple of them. And then something that Tracy pointed out the other day that I really love is since Elida had taken part in the vileness, maybe she actually thought that they had like really killed a lot of the male channelers and that there aren't
Yes.
a lot left. So
Yeah.
maybe
Well, and to be fair,
And Elida was
she is-
red as well.
Yep.
yeah.
And honestly, to her credit, Rand is thinking when he goes ahead and puts the farm together that they're going to get like 8 people.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're
Yeah.
just going to be like 8 male channelers who are going to be able to help in Tarman Gaiden, which is better than 0 male channelers helping. in
Yeah,
Tarman.
for sure.
Like 8 is still a better number, but he
Mhm.
and
8
rest
male
of the
channelers
world.
is better than 7 male channelers.
exactly. And so he's sitting there thinking, like, as many as I can get, and any number bigger than 0 is great.
It's gravy.
But like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get 5, maybe 10 of them.
Mm-hmm.
He's hoping for like an Ashaman Special Force
Yeah.
SEAL Team 6.
Fantastic.
Kind of a thing.
Exactly. And then, of course, again,
Ashaman going dark.
and Rand doesn't even have that much history about the world to go off of, and he's still
Yeah, that's
pretty
true.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like Tovanne,
To be fair.
she gets
To be
the
fair.
I don't know why I
To
keep
be
saying to be fair.
Now I have
No,
to keep
please
saying
keep
it
saying
too.
it.
It's
It's a
true,
thing
it's
now.
true.
It's a
I'm
thing
gonna-
now.
To
I'm
be
gonna share it
fair,
with my kid. He's gonna love it.
Tobin essentially,
Letterkenny.
to be fair, gets the equivalent of, to be fair, shooting the messenger,
Stop
which
it.
is not fair. Because it's like you're forcibly bonded by an
Mhm.
Ashaman because you were fed bullshit intel. Like this is
Yeah.
this is worse
I'd be
intel
pissed.
than the U.S. military in Somalia. Worst intel.
Except that I honestly I agree with the bad
Rough.
intel. I'm not trying to take away from it, but at the same time, there was actually other reports that
Oh,
they were
yeah.
getting that were not messed up. And of course, Tovain and Elida absolutely just went, no, that's bullshit. I'm gonna listen to this report that I
Baloney.
Yeah, but
No
Tobin is also she's
fucking
listening
way.
more to Elida because the people that
Fish
don't listen to
guts.
Elida get fucking
Fish
demoted
guts.
to accepted and
That was for
novice.
you, Amber.
Like
Aw.
Tobin is sitting there literally looking at this terrifying tyrant dictator saying, if I don't agree with what she says, then she's going to strip me of my shawl.
Yeah.
Also
Like because
true.
of all that, she gets there and they're stuck in this, from their perspective, terrible situation. And then
It kind of
like
is.
literally her fellow
It's not even just
sisters.
their purpose.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a terrible
Fellow
situation,
sisters.
but
All right.
especially
be-
from their perspective, there we go. And then she just
Yeah.
gets beat
Yeah.
by her fellow sisters.
Yes.
Like, oh, it's your fault. Yeah, all that not really attacking people other than the shadow. Fuck that. We're gonna beat your ass.
Mhm.
It's yeah. No, that's
Well, and-
probably that I would say that's one of the biggest fails in the series because they were
Yeah.
like, we want 20 super awesome badass sisters, and to their credit, they got Pavara, who is
They did.
a badass. Like that's a bad. I love Pavara.
Pavara. Same.
She's
so
my
amazing.
favorite.
Mhm.
It's just I always say
I
that
love bad
Pavara
bitches.
is
That's my fucking problem.
Pavara is the saving grace of the Red
Reds?
Aja.
Oh,
Pavara
Absolutely.
100%.
Mhm.
and God, Egwene's keeper.
Oh,
when
Egwene's
she
keeper,
raises-
Sylviana.
Sylviana. Pavara and Sylviana.
I know stuff. Did you hear that? I know
You
stuff.
do know stuff.
I'm
You so
impressed.
smart.
I know. It's true.
Oh, hold on.
No, I mean-
Mark your calendars, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first time I have ever seen Daniel with an almost empty bottle.
Whoa.
I know it's happened before, but it's one of the first times I've seen it.
It's had. Oh my! Is
What
that
is it?
okay? Now, is that the gentleman Jack you brought to the Gathering Madness?
It's not Gentleman Jack, but it is the same type.
Oh, the spiced rum.
Spiced rum.
Yes, it is
Tasty.
Kirkland spiced rum.
Here
Yar.
at the Black
I was gonna say,
Tower,
do you
we all may be
always-
drinking the rum.
You always hear that in a
And-
pirate voice because I
Is
would.
everyone drinking? What is everyone drinking? I'm just curious.
I've got rum and Coke. I've got Sailor Jerry
Okay.
and Coke Zero.
Rum and
Dr.
Dr. Pepper.
Pepper.
I'm sorry.
Somebody
What
is
did you
the-
say you have?
Sailor
He's
Jerry and Coke Zero.
Yes.
Okay.
I rum and Dr. Pepper.
And then I'm
which
the
is
bridge between the
best
two.
combination.
I'm the bridge
Okay.
between the two because I also have Dr. Pepper, but I also
Oh.
have Sailor Jerry.
Okay.
Ah, yeah.
Okay. All right.
I have
Gotcha.
turned-
What about-
Totally planned.
What about
Oh.
you two? Tracy,
You wanna
it's
go
probably
first?
bedtime for you.
You know what? It's getting close. Oh yeah, it's almost 8
I don't know,
o'clock.
you can't
It's
really
about
see it.
it's
No,
about
that was-
Bob's
that was
Burgers
great. I
time.
saw it. Oh, it's
So,
about Bob's Burgers.
We were actually talking about this earlier. That I'm kind of a slut for Trader Joe's, and I don't mind admitting it. They make a sparkling almond wine that
Oh
is
my God.
amazing, and it's like $6.
Tracy,
It's my,
you
like-
ignorant slut. Keep drinking.
I actually
See, I don't think
So-
we generally drink wine when we're doing this stuff because
I usually don't either. I record at 10
did something
a.m.
There's a little
happen?
bit of trauma in the Black Tower regarding wine.
Something
So
happened.
Really?
yeah,
you're in the Black Tower and
don't
someone
like
offers you wine. Be sus-
Wine is a bad.
Does it make
thing
a difference if it sparkles? Because I feel
Yeah.
like it
No.
should.
I think that's
No,
it
extra.
definitely-
Be wary
If
of.
it's if it actually doesn't have bubbles in it, you're probably
Here,
safe.
crazy Ashaman, don't worry about
Problem is-
this wine. It sparkles. Yeah,
That's how I get through so many things in my life. Don't look at it; it sparkles.
I
That's how that happens.
That was
Don't
Perfect.
you mind what's happening over here? This shiny look.
Just
You have
sparkling.
ADOS,
Yeah.
deficit. Ooh, shiny.
That's how I get out of
Sparkles.
everything. Anyway, it's
Hello.
delicious.
I am
I-
done.
Speaking
So,
of sparkling
I have just
things,
met Squirrel.
What?
So the mead that I made for the Gathering Madness, my fall mead
Good.
that I
Well,
made.
hold on, Josh. Amber was going to tell
I
us about
drank
sparkly things.
Oh, tell us about sparkly things.
no, go
Amber.
ahead. I'll save it for later.
Oh, okay.
I was just gonna say that it's
Now I'm
almost
concerned.
gone. I've drank almost all of it in like 2 sessions, and it's delicious and
Is
amazing.
it the one with the fruit in it?
The apples and the orange and the cinnamon stick and the clove.
Dang.
Ooh, that
What?
sounds really good.
Not
Yeah,
to
the mean
fear
that we
I
were all
have-
too drunk and too busy to enjoy at the Gathering
We were.
Madness.
Really?
Sexy
We had
Marshadi showed up
so
with
many
like 2
drinks.
flats filled with beer.
Oh yeah, and I was
He
a
got
dick.
us-
Like the last
got
time we
us-
were there, I kept Daniel up until 3 a.m. Fucking
You
me sitting
did.
there like drinking beer and shit.
And then I woke their asses up at like 6 in the morning the next morning to go out
Hi.
rock hounding.
And
It was
Daniel's
fantastic.
perfectly
So-
fine. Like he's
Hi.
walking around, he's like
Wait.
fine, and I'm like the
Josh, you're a
living
rock
dead.
hounder.
I'm just
He
wondering.
is.
I'm just wondering if
actually,
these is
to be
epic fails
fair-
within the Black Tower.
To be fair,
To be fair,
On my part, to be fair,
Sorry.
on my part, yeah,
Uh,
that night was. To
I
say, well,
definitely-
not epic.
Okay,
But
just curious.
So
Josh is a rock hounder. He does enjoy it. He does go. But if you are looking for the rock hounder in the family, it is his wife.
it's definitely his wife that
that was
gets.
coming. I
It's
knew that
definitely
was
his wife
coming.
that gets the rocks off in the family.
she has
Accurate.
It's amazing that we've gone this long without me making that kind of joke. I mean, I've made that kind, but not that joke.
I'm so glad we got to be a part of it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You
Oh,
are.
That should be a part of the plug.
for being
Get
here.
your. We got to get Adrian to say it. Get your rocks off.
I'm gonna make her say that
Crystal
in the
Barista.
trailer. In the trailer that we record for her, I'm gonna make
Beautiful.
her say that.
You should do that.
Beautiful.
The fun story
All right,
is
so
when we first got together, we started our own rock business for a while called Get Your Rocks Off.
nice.
It's a good name.
So 2 things real quick. Number 1, in answer to your question, Josh, earlier, excuse me. This is actually a new bottle of Kirkland rum. But I've
Okay.
only gotten through that one and this one in the time since the Gathering Madness. So I'm actually still not doing that great. It's
That's
a lot.
okay.
Gathering
That's a lot of
Madness
time.
2022 Europe edition.
Ooh, I'll go.
Look at Boogaloo.
Yes. Yes. And second, before you say anything,
I'll make
Josh,
cookies.
Amber had something to say about sparklies, and I really want
and
to know.
Daniel really needs to hear what you think about
I
sparklies,
need
Amber.
to hear about
It has to
sparkling.
happen.
I want to
I'm
know. I
sorry.
want to know.
Well, it kind of comes into
the shiny.
it goes into another fail because we have to talk about Matt being like, "Ooh, sparkly dagger," and then just like, dude,
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
On this one, I will defend my boy.
No,
you
Okay.
love that.
I
Defend
would
it.
defend- I would defend him
There
too
is
if I was a-
small defense, but no, there isn't actually.
if I was like a
It's still
16,
funny.
17-year-old boy and I was like, "Oh, cool, knife," like, you know, like why not?
Especially
Well, it's still
when
funny that
this
he's like,
dude
"Oh, this
shows up
dagger,
and is like,
it's mine."
hey,
That's
And the dagger's like,
only
"No, no, no,
defense.
you're
and
mine."
It's very minor. That's the only defense, and it's very minor. Is that fucking the Mordeth literally
shows up and
turns
blows up like a big ass
giant
balloon.
True.
And he's like, oh shit, knife.
thing to him,
He's like,
but
He's
keeping
like,
it.
hey guys, look, there's a knife right here.
If motherfucker gets told 6 times, six times.
Do not
That is
take
half
anything.
a dozen for those of you scoring at home. 6 times.
He gets told
That's a
not to
fucking
accept any
anything.
gifts.
Don't take anything.
No, not even twice he gets told not to accept any gifts. 4 times he gets told not to take anything from Shadow Logoth. Period. Literally, even a rock, not a gift, not a rock, not a pebble, not a fucking.
Can I offer you this pebble in these trying times?
That's like, get that out of here.
Danny DeVito offers you an egg in
Get that
Shadow
weak shit out
Logoth.
here.
You don't
My-
fucking take it.
Ironically enough, my epic fail moment
Ooh.
Yes.
also takes place in Shed Our Logoth.
Ooh. Ooh.
I'm
Okay.
excited for this.
Where is it going?
In or near?
In.
Okay.
Pre-Shadow
Rand
Logoth or
I knew you were
Okay.
gonna do this.
and Demandred.
Oh, okay.
They're like,
Hmm.
hey, we're gonna team up and kill the things. Balefire, Balefire, Balefire. And they're like, Balefire! Oh,
That's
you cross
him
That's
and
not Dim and
Moradin.
Dread.
That's him and Moradin.
Yeah.
or Moradin.
that's-
That's him and
Sorry.
Moradin.
Not Demandred. Moradin.
I'm just sitting there like, because earlier I went to talk about, like, I was thinking, like, what should my fail be? Should it be the fact that
Moradin-
Damodred doesn't show up at all until the end? No. And then you're just like, did I fucking miss a
Moradin-
massive chapter?
Moradin. It's my
Moradin
character. Get out of
sits
my face.
there and talks to Rand. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, hey.
Oh, hey,
Okay.
how's it going?
How's it going,
Hello.
buddy? Hey, that was some pretty sick balefire you wove there. And Rand's like, hey, thanks, bro.
Are we
what are
best
you doing
friends
here?
now? Yeah.
And he's like, oh,
Are
you know,
we,
I was
did
just
we just become best
passing
friends?
through. At any time, Moradin could have won the last battle, but he's like, nah.
Mm-mm.
Oh, he spent too
Nah.
much time listening to Dizziness After Death and My Chemical Romance.
He did
I just
the
wanna fucking die.
classic. He did the classic supervillain thing and was like, no, I cannot kill you now. I must
Mhm.
kill you in an over-exaggerated plan later.
To my own idiom.
I must
Mhm.
tie your Aes Sedai to the wall
You sly
Cut
dog, you
her
got me
so
monologuing.
that she bleeds, and I will cut her in such a way that I can time the moment in which she bleeds out, and then you and
Okay.
I must duel for a few moments
This is
so that
bringing
I
me
may
to
kill
another
you
fail.
at the perfect.
Right?
Shut the hell up,
except-
dude.
Josh,
coulda just
Josh,
killed him.
Josh, I'm not saying I don't agree with you because on some
Good.
levels I absolutely do.
But here's how you're wrong.
However,
But I'm going
To
to
be
disagree
fair-
with you.
that when you're
fair.
a
To be
boss, so there are two things about that. Number one, when you're your boss's favorite and he is giving you the keys to the castle, you don't piss your boss off. Why is Moradin nameless? Because he listens to his goddamn boss 90% of the time.
I thought it was because it wasn't me.
90%
It's
of the
supposed to be me,
time.
right? I'm nameless.
Yeah.
Do you want to be
Okay, go
nameless,
ahead.
Tracy?
Fuck
Number
no.
two, and it goes along
Fuck
with
no.
number one. They're like this. Number two is the taller one.
Mm.
His boss specifically told him and all his friends
Mhm.
His
You are
boss was a
not
dumbass.
allowed to do this. So
His-
really, it's a dark one fail,
Yeah.
not a more.
Yeah.
I will say,
Mm.
okay.
And
Okay,
I'm
yeah, I
okay
can
with
see
that.
that.
I'll give
I'm
you
not
that.
saying that Moradin didn't help in the fail. He
Mhm.
didn't. He listened to the fail, and
But he
that's why
was-
I completely agree with you.
Mhm.
It's not he is
I'll-
failing.
I will
If someone
give you
else is,
that,
he just follows it.
and I will retract a piece of my fail and say that it was not
Ooh.
Moradin's fail, that it was the Dark One's fail.
Bingo.
Okay.
Because
I agree
not
with that
only-
one.
Ooh, an
Completely.
epic dark one fail. I
It
love
was the
this.
Dark One's
Yes.
orders, and the Dark One has been there since the creation. He's seen the wheel
Right.
rotate
Sure.
time and time again. He's like, this time,
Time after time.
this time.
You know what they say? Immense cosmic powers.
Thanks,
Itty bitty
Amber.
living space.
I have to throw
Get
out
out of
there-
here,
Oh,
Dark
I'm not
One.
saying that I'm taking back my epic fail, but literally
No, don't-
just a
don't do it.
line. Let the Lord of,
Of
Chaos,
chaos
reign.
rule.
Huge epic fail. Huge epic fail. The
Why?
biggest in the series.
Oh, I love that part though.
Biggest in the series is just a huge epic
Tell
fail.
us.
Of, again,
I'm
it's-
curious now.
Yeah,
I'm
because
settling in for this one. I like it.
I might
Amber's-
need to go
Amber's
get
here for
another
this.
ale.
Yeah.
ready.
let's-
We see Daniel in his
Yeah.
natural habitat. Predators lay in the background, ready to pounce.
Don't get me wrong, I do also love that order. It really does set
Uh-huh.
up the rest of the story. And again, it really is very in line with the sort of character or the caricature, whatever you want to call it, of
Uh-huh.
the Dark One, of just how self-serving and how hubris and how everything the Dark One is, that he doesn't actually feel like he has won
Mm-hmm.
if the dragon dies.
Like
If
he's
the
just
dragon's
amusing
alive-
himself.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
I can see that.
I guess I
Me
win,
too.
but I don't win epically. And I
Well,
need to
Easy there,
epic
Tracy.
win.
Don't be trying to take my hair flip. All right.
Okay,
Careful.
I'm sorry. But you
I can see that.
Like,
You
I
leave
can
my
see
wish
that
cart
from the
curl alone.
perspective.
Just from a different angle.
Right?
Hold. I can see that
jealous
actually.
of my perfect bangs. I get it. It's fine. Go ahead. Sorry.
Those are
They might be giants. Bangs. Great song. Daniel, I can see your point in that the Dark One has an ultimate goal to break the Wheel of Time.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't do it without
He
the
can't-
dragon. He can't do it without the dragon serving him willingly and alive.
You have
He's kind of
valid.
like a cat playing with
I
his
do.
mouse
I
before it
get
dies.
For the
Like,
first
But there
time
are so
this
many
evening-
times in the story where he just needs to go, fuck it, we're waiting until the next time. I'll have more power.
We're waiting
Rewind.
until the next
More
stage comes around,
followers.
guys.
I'm just gonna wait and I'm just gonna be patient because I will be even more out of my prison by the time the next age rolls around.
That's
And
true.
instead of just having Moradin come to Rand and go,
He said, "Come to Rand."
But come to Butthead.
he just says,
I-
no, I need to win right now. And if I don't win right now, it's not
Do you
good
think
enough.
Moradin's a part of that
Sets
though?
himself up to lose.
But do you think Moradin's a part of that though? Because for the first time,
Not intentional.
presumably for the first time, he has a Nabliss who does not want power,
Mhm.
eternal life, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
What Nabliss / Moradin wants this turning of the wheel is end me
Yeah.
I
I
don't agree
want
with that.
to
I
die.
don't agree with that.
Oh, interesting.
Finally.
Okay.
I don't agree with that. In
Oh
terms
God,
of
it's like
this.
Taim and Logain all over again. Descent in the tower.
Because
And
I
you know what?
actually do think that Ishamael Moradin does still very much want power, and if he can get it in this lifetime, in this age, he would be fine with that as long as he can die when he wants.
But
And
that's the
that's
So he
thing.
had to
thing-
get at least something out of it.
The
It's
ultimate
my life, and I'll
promise
die when I want to.
is that he is done. Finally, he does not want to be revived in another turning of
Then
the
just
wheel.
have Rand Balefire
That's
you.
true.
Yeah.
Just have Rand Balefire you.
But this
But
is part of
again,
the epic
fact
fail.
that he doesn't do that
Good
actually
point.
really
Good point.
means, in my opinion, that he takes the out when it's given to him by Rand at the end. But he doesn't necessarily seek out the out
Mhm.
before it comes to him as an
So-
opportunity. Because he would just have somebody in the world who is capable of channeling. He would teach them the Weave for Balefire and then just be like, I actually am suicidal. I actually over.
Your
Hey,
mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries. Now,
There is such
Balefire,
an
this is how you Balefire.
obvious out to this problem that he knows from the jump, and he never
So-
takes it, which is why I think that ending is opportunistic rather than his goal all along.
Yeah.
This might be an interesting bit of Watt candy, actually. And I will just give a taste of it here, and we
Yes,
can discuss
Josh.
it in
Let
one of
us
our
taste your candy.
Patreon only
Oh,
pre-episodes. But
for
Mhm.
episodes.
Robert Jordan talked about ancient civilization philosophies being time is a wheel, and that
Mhm.
everything that
Mhm.
happens will eventually happen again. And this is where he got the idea
It's
for
like a circle.
the
it's not
cyclical nature
It's
like a
of
snake
It's like it
eating
happens
its
the
over
wheel
tail.
of
and
time.
over again. I love it.
Maybe Moradin is a philosopher in that he doesn't like the idea that no matter what he does, it doesn't make a difference. No matter what he
true.
does,
True.
all
I like
of this
that.
will happen again. So for him,
Are you saying all we are
die
is dust in the wind?
completely is not enough for him. He
Uh,
wants everyone to be free of the wheel of time.
The more it
I think that actually makes a lot.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, that kind of plays into by now I imagine most people have. If you haven't, go back and watch it. The Badger Reborn did a video where he made a very solid argument that I still have trouble trying to dismantle. That the Dark One. Have you guys seen this?
I have not. I just wrote it down so I can watch it later.
Oh, all right. So go watch it. It's this theory on the Dark One and Ishmael / Morden. I'm not going to say any more because I want you to watch the video and listen.
I'll
Hear
watch
it
it.
from the
Not even
Badger's
a
mind.
taste.
Be
Not even a
honest,
little
I
taste.
disagree.
The Dark One in
with
that theory
your
may
take,
not
but
be
it's
what we think it
awesome
is.
And I like it, even though I disagree with the theory.
The Dark
Oh,
One
yeah.
did nothing wrong.
I disagree with the theory as well, but I very much enjoy it.
Yes, exactly.
I want to check it out.
You should.
Do it.
I
So
will.
Dragon Reborn,
Yeah.
not Dragon Reborn, Badger Reborn.
Badger Reborn.
That's your fault
But
for
it-
choosing the and Reborn as
it-
part of your name. All right.
It just
you just got a
gets
free shout
even-
out for the Black Tower Pod.
Oh, BTP.
It'll
All
get
right,
you
guys.
2 more
Hashtag.
views.
Hashtag
All right,
embrace the
guys.
tank.
So it is definitely coming to the end of our time. I just want to recap
What?
a little
Is
bit
it?
on it. Yeah.
But there
Is it
are
really?
no
Okay,
endings
cool.
to time.
Shut it.
There,
This
there are
is,
no beginnings or endings.
this is an ending.
I'm
We're just gonna
sorry,
keep
is
doing
that-
this
Daniel,
over and over
Is that
again.
completely
what
done with
happens in the
everyone's
book?
shit. Shut up.
No,
We're
you
here to
guys have
talk
been
again,
awesome.
Road to Tar Valon.
Amber and Tracy, Road to Tar Valon. Thank you very, very much.
You guys
for
are
being
Thank
coming
you for
on
having
Sunday.
us. Yeah.
We are.
Indeed.
Yeah.
We're in just a
It's
couple.
gonna be
You guys are going to be with us on
days.
Sunday.
So wait, when
Indeed.
that the
So
episode that
just
we're
a
going to be on with y'all, when
recap.
does that come out?
It'll be
Oh, yeah.
in 2 weeks.
It'll be
Tracy?
this Sunday.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
The
no.
Dark One has her.
Oh, there we
This
go.
following
She's been
Wednesday.
taken.
She's
Wait.
back.
You're back.
What? What
Sorry,
happened?
say that one
You
more
froze.
time.
drop
You
out?
froze exactly
Dark
when you were
one
saying
took
it.
It's what's nice is tomorrow. Oh yeah, my thing just said your internet connection is unstable. Tomorrow
Every
we
time
have
mine
somebody
says that, I
coming
look
in
at Zoom and
delayed.
I'm like, bitch, I'm unstable.
Aren't we all?
Fucking watch it.
Don't talk to me about unstable. So we're about a week
You
ahead
were
of
merely
ourselves.
born in the unstable, molded by it.
I actually opened my calendar without.
He's so unstable that his background is freaking. Oh, it's the light. Ah, that's what it is.
Stop it, Josh. Let Tracy finish her
I'm
thought.
letting
Yeah,
Tracy
let
finish.
me talk, Josh. God, no, I'm just kidding. Sorry, I maybe had an entire bottle of that wine.
You're amazing.
Only
And you're
one?
apologizing
Yes, I am. Thank you.
to us? What?
It'll be out at some point.
Yes,
You guys know.
Long short.
No, make
I could just
sure
imagine like
that
it gets
once you've
lost,
seen
and then
this
in like a year,
episode-
it's like at Tower Podcast. We just posted the episode we did with you a year ago, and it's like,
Wait, we did an episode?
We did
Perfect.
an episode. What happened? Wait,
Yeah.
what?
All right, guys. So
because this one will be
Oh
out
yes, so
on.
let's do this. Let's
This will
do
be out
this.
on the
So
29th.
fun. Thanks, guys.
It's
Yeah.
been so much fun to talk about epic fails because let's be honest, there are actually a lot of
So
them, and
many.
we all appreciate that because it makes the story seem more accurate.
It does.
You need the human element.
Exactly.
It does.
So prevalent. But
Yeah.
we've got Andrew's. Andrew, your epic fail was
No, go on.
He's like,
Oh!
remember.
I shouldn't do that because he's gonna do the same to me, and I'm gonna be like.
I don't remember.
So my epic fail moment was Barrelon.
Bear
Lane.
Lane.
Bear Lane.
See, at least that time I
Lane.
stopped
One
instead
is
of
a
continuing.
city,
I
one
knew
is a
I fucked up.
person.
So I'm getting
Tracy
better.
knows what's up.
But I mean, technically, if Barrelon tried to seduce Rand,
and
they failed as
That would
well.
be bad.
Who
That would
the
be weird.
fuck named both
Actually-
of those?
actually, a portion of Barrelon did inevitably seduce Rand. So,
Boom.
but the epic fail was Barrelane's attempt to seduce Rand.
Amber,
Yes,
what was
indeed.
your epic fail?
Aganor not making sexy cat girls.
Yes.
True.
Which
Accurate.
wins the episode for me. I need to remember to put a Nico on screen for that.
Ugh, stop it.
I can't claim that one though because someone else came up with it. But
Oh, you know what?
Your
claim it
epic
here.
fail was Agenor. You
Yeah.
just also included someone else's failure in your epic fail, which
Tracy, your epic fail.
a
Elida.
lighter.
Elida.
a lighter.
She's
My
connected
epic
to
fail?
So many
General.
things. Yeah, just her. She's
So,
the worst.
Elida, just
In
all
general.
all of Elida.
All of it.
She gets
Listen
the
here,
thumbs
girl.
down
All
in
this
so
right
many
here,
ways.
it's a mess and a fail.
All this right here, that's a fail.
And
Yeah,
on
fuck that.
Wednesday,
Just
we
ask
were
Moraine.
Josh, yours.
My epic fail was Moradin / the Dark One thinking, can't
No,
kill him
don't
now.
kill
We
him.
must kill
Just
him
leave
later.
And
More,
Daniel,
so more or
yours
less
was
the trope.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's the trope.
But it was
Andrew?
good. It was good.
What was mine?
Well, yeah, that's the question.
As far
I'm
as
asking.
tropes go. Oh, Andrew, you
mine
called
was
it.
I know what it
Tobane
is.
And her
I knew it is.
absolute-
Tovane.
Oh, yes, and her absolutely
it.
atrocious.
Tracy's a
You did.
badass.
You absolutely
got
So to be
this.
fair,
Yes,
I'm
I
happy to
am.
dish it
Fair.
out,
Fair.
but also as long as
To be fair. Sorry, I'm sorry. My
Don't
son
be.
is
No, I
like
love
one
it.
of the funniest people I have
the
ever
best.
met.
Hey.
And anytime I walk up to him
be
and I say something and I'm like, to be fair, he goes, to be fair. And then he turns into Reginald, the
Yes.
colonial oppressor, and talks about how awful the things England did
Love it.
was. And it's
You
my
know, we
favorite thing.
Josh, Daniel, you know what we should do now? We
What
should
should we
make
do now?
a generic piece of merch that says "to be fair" and encourage people to add custom
be
text below
fair.
it with whatever. Like, to be fair, the Dark One did nothing wrong.
That.
To be
To be
fair,
fair.
Or have it on the
Gowan
back.
isn't that bad.
I would
It could be like one of
absolutely
those.
love it if it was on the
Hello,
back.
my name is.
Yeah.
Only
Yes.
instead of hello, my name is. To be fair, the Dark
be
One
fair.
had plans for Rand.
England
Indeed.
didn't think it was that bad. Oh, I'm sorry.
To
Wrong
be fair,
world.
the
My
taint
bad.
doesn't taste as bad as you think.
To be fair,
But that's
the taint
just
is
sounded like
quite
an
nice.
advertisement for ass eating. Oh my god.
Dude, don't even go there.
You got to get that strawberry flavored Astroglide.
Amber and Tracy,
my
you guys have
God.
been so much fun, and you have gone
Thanks
with
for
us
having
on
us.
so many
Thank you.
wonderful things.
So
You
much.
guys
Glad that the
are-
last word that came out of Andrew's mouth out of this was Astroglide.
Astroglide.
It usually is.
And I bring
don't
out the
know if
best
you guys
in
have
people.
seen an episode before.
Thank
but
you for bringing
it-
up
Say
the
that
best
that
of
was the
Andrew.
joke made at the tail end.
Hey, oh, I see what you did there.
But it's cool because now we have a new creation for merch. But speaking of new
Yes.
creations,
You're welcome.
Daniel,
You're welcome.
I hear you have something to say.
Speaking of Agenor and his new creations, if
Hey-o.
you are thinking about going ahead and getting a new creation of shirts or mugs or something along those lines, go check out New Creations by Jen. They are sort of our currently, I know this is going to sound a little shady, but I don't mean it that way, our sort of secondary merch store. It actually has quite a number of awesome things. It's run by amazing people, and we would actually like to transition all of our stuff there in some ways, but they are still small. New Creations by Jen is super great. They are they do things like our Frosty mug. So hop over there and get the Black Tower Frosty mug, which Andrew
What's
is
the name of the company
modeling
again?
right now.
It's New Creations by Jen.
Creations by Jen.
Hey, Amber, do we need to make our Jumara t-shirt yet?
You need to get in on the Frosty Mug Society.
You
At least
do
I
need
want
to
the
get
shirt
in
with
on
a
this.
with like a wolf that just says "I've got worms" or "I've got Jamara."
Oh,
No, I have a really
She's gonna
wacky
design
Jumara
it
theory.
So good.
Oh, so
Yeah,
are
so
we going to
just-
talk about that on Sunday? No, we
No,
are.
but
can.
you could listen to our podcast.
Ooh.
Oh,
That was like part
Shade.
like ad and
This is
part
not
like
like-
motherfucker.
How was
Files
that
grew
for a
darker
plug?
in my room.
oh my God. Well, Amber and
Well,
Tracy,
well done. Well
it has
done.
been an
Yeah.
Guys.
I'm not
absolute
even mad. I'm just impressed.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Amber and Tracy. It has been an absolute pleasure and an absolute delight to have you on the show today.
Yeah,
Thank you so
thanks.
much.
We're
One
pumped for
last time.
Sunday.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Tell the people where they can find you, please,
And
because
not your physical address because that'd be weird.
Yeah, no.
Instagram, Twitter.
I feel like
Anchor.
most people wouldn't be able to get to Germany, so I feel like Amber's more safe. But I'm
Yeah.
not
Well,
saying do it. Just
Except for Rob,
if you did.
creepy ass Mouth
Rob will
Theory
just
Uh-oh.
show
Rob.
up in
You
your town.
underestimate
Show up,
mine
right?
shipping.
Okay, I don't wanna
Just
sound
kidding.
like a fangirl
Rob is
for a
not
moment,
creepy.
It's a freak,
I
it's
love
freak.
No, we
Rob.
love him. We love
Rob is
Yeah.
one of my
He's so
I was
favorite
gonna
nice.
say,
people.
if Rob showed up at my house, I feel like I
I'd
would
be
only
stoked.
be happy.
No
Like,
kidding. I'd be like,
He
it's a
would be
food
welcome.
time. Let's go.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm gonna make cookies.
Yeah.
I'm making s'mores cookies tomorrow, and I'm very excited about it.
Oh.
Rob,
can't
I know,
Rob
right?
showing up at your house is really great for the soul, but really bad for the waistline. He showed up to my
Tell the
house and
people-
stuffed me full of his honey cakes.
Yeah.
Tell the people where they can find you so that they can listen to your podcast, because you guys are amazing. You guys are
Thanks.
awesome, and the
Thank
people
you.
really need to know where you are.
Yeah, because to be
So
fair, you guys are awesome.
be
at
fair.
this
To be
point.
fair,
Ah.
I can't help myself. I can't help myself. So we're at Road to Tar Valon. You can find us on Anchor, Spotify, and on, like other places.
all the major.
Spotify. Yeah. You guys like how informed I am about this? It's
I
quickie
found you
time.
guys
Come
on
now.
Instagram, just so you guys
Did
know.
you? Okay, cool.
I found you on Instagram.
I found you on Instagram.
You did. You
Yeah.
taught me how to ferment peppers,
I sure did.
and it was awesome.
I found
I personally
myself on
love the
Instagram.
food connection, like between like the various podcasts who are all like making food together. It's just like it's one of my favorite
amazing.
things. I
Well,
just love it.
I love again how Melchior Talks didn't even start as a chef.
No.
That's what he's known for now
He
because he was
is a
just on
chef
his theory podcast.
Professionally.
No,
Mhm.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I get it.
No.
I'm not. That's awesome and whatnot. But like he started his podcast as a theory podcast.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
what
yeah,
he did.
Mhm.
And he was like, theories. I'm gonna make some food. And people were like,
Did you say
Said
food?
food. I know exactly.
was
stop
wonderful.
what you're doing right
He's
now.
an
Like,
amazing
We don't
guy.
care about your theories. We only care about your
We
dumb
only
honey
want your
cakes.
food.
So-
yeah.
We are
So
all
anybody-
attracted to the clap of Malkier Talks honey cakes.
Love it. Love it.
To anybody who wants to learn more about Traci and Amber, and you all should, because they're
Thank you.
amazing and awesome,
Thanks.
please go
Accurate.
check them out on any social media platform.
Yeah.
Their
there.
podcast is hosted on Anchor FM,
Yep.
Road to Tar Valon.
Mhm.
They're amazing. Their podcast is amazing. Their podcast is spoiler friendly as well.
It is. Mm-hmm. We
So
usually
go
make it
check
so like
it
our
out.
first half of the show is spoiler free. So you can at least like check
Yes.
out the first half. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's
Hey,
what
wonderful.
you
You
do-
guys
We're
are
spoiler
you guys are
friendly.
great.
It's just all the spoilers.
Yeah.
We welcome them in.
You actually just turn on Road to Tar Valon,
Yeah.
That's
get
right.
the spoiler free
And
portion,
you know,
and
as,
then just keep
as,
listening
as
through
far
the
as time goes, we appreciate you guys.
section, and then listen to us.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do that. I'm all
I
for
like it.
that. Yeah.
I like it.
Love it.
Let's do that. Let's call that.
Cool. Thank you so
No,
much
but you
for
guys are
having us.
awesome.
Thank
Thanks.
We
had so much
appreciate
fun.
you.
Yeah.
We're so grateful to have you. Honestly, we're so happy. Especially Amber. We know you're in Germany. It's probably ridiculously
Oh my gosh,
late
it's so
there.
late for you. I'm
Oh,
so
oh, no.
impressed. I'm
Amber
so
prepared.
impressed.
Amber
I know,
prepared.
right?
I mean,
He was
I
like,
did.
I'm going to stay up and watch The Expanse,
Expanse,
so that I am more
Sunday.
prepared for this time difference. So
Didn't find that
kudos to you
hashtag
for putting
for
in
you.
the
It did it.
extra
It
effort.
did it.
I need to find it. I need to
Yes,
find
and
it.
again, guys, I just want to throw out there, Mazrim Taim has yet to be cast, as far as we know. So get in your Malik for Mazrim.
As soon as all
Hashtag.
this is over, this is exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Yeah.
Dude,
We already
I just
at-
looked up Malik
at-
for Mazrim. It's not the hashtag
Ray
though.
Judkins.
Oh.
That's
At
not the actual
everybody
hashtag.
At Sarah Nakamura. Is it Mazrim for Malik?
Oh,
No.
is
Is it
Christian
Mazrim from
Avasarala?
gonna be Catswain.
I'll find the
That's-
hashtag. I'll
I'll
send
allow
it
it.
That's
to you
who
guys.
we
I'll
want
allow
to be
it.
Catswain. Is the actress
So,
that
I
plays
like her too
Avasarala.
much to be such a hateful character, but at the same time,
She's
Sure.
perfect for it. She's perfect for it.
dude,
Thank
I
you so
want
much
Maggie
for joining
Smith
us
as
tonight.
Cat
Yeah,
Swain.
I want to go to bed.
Maggie
you guys,
Smith
this
as
was fun.
Cat Swain.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much
Jazz
for
gotta
participating.
run.
Amber and Tracy, thank you
Thank
so
you,
much for
thank
being on the
you,
show.
thank
We
you,
so
and
much
you, and you.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
from all of us at the Black Tower, I have been Josh.
And this camera, probably the only camera. I have been Andrew.
And over here on camera, wait, hang on. I don't have and I have been Daniel. And from all of us here at the Road to Tar Valon and the Black Tower, we hope that you are having a lovely morning. We're hoping that you get everything that you want out of life, and especially today. And in case we don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Ladies, good luck on your trip to Tar Valon.
Thank you so much.
Someday we'll make it.
Maybe.